Ready, set, go.
Go!
Oh no.
Go!
I'm drinking!
Why are unicorns really into burning things down?
Not all unicorns are.
But like
Hashtag-
3 of them.
Hashtag not all unicorns. Ladies and
Yeah, it
gentlemen,
is like
welcome
3
to-
of them, actually.
But you live in a flammable environment, and you're not allowed to set things on fire.
Ugh.
Because sometimes you have to set the forest on fire to keep it from actual forest fire.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the Huoshan Guild. Ugh.
Fucking quality streaming.
That's hot.
Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Huoshan Hunters Guild. It's, as you know, the dumpster fire of them's tabletop herds.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. We're gonna have to put some big old quotations on that. Anyways, when we last left off, you guys had reached the negative energy ocean in the Shadow Plane. However, on your way to cross the other side to where the warlock was, you were suddenly shifted into Zankuthan's throne room, in which he was very, very, very not happy about you freeing the slaves that was going his way.
He should quit whining.
Anyways, he decided to, after some talking about what's going on in your world, he decided to see if you were up to the task and sent some of his chitin after you. You successfully defeated the chitin, and then after that he was just like, alright, now fight them. And there were about 30 or more chitins, and he was like, I'm going to turn you all into chitins, and then I'm going to go fight Nyarlathotep. Which is basically how it went down in the TLDR fashion. Who just died?
Yeah, basically that's what happened, except for there was the whole, I'm going to give you all of Nyarla's followers as slaves.
Oh yeah.
Let's gloss over that part.
He didn't really keep his end of the deal, so like, why?
Yeah, we're not gonna keep our end of the deal, he's a dick.
Yeah.
Lily's
People
just out
evil,
to piss
so-
off the...
He's...
Also, apparently, I only have 1 hero point left.
Well,
No,
After-
you have
after the-
another. Well, you have another one now because
should have
you-
Well,
two.
yeah,
leveled up.
I said after the level up.
Oh.
what'd you
Oh.
use the
Well,
second
well,
one?
Well, he used 2 of them to
Yeah,
revive
but
himself.
what about the third one?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Anyways. So, as you were being slowly surrounded by the chitin, suddenly a crazy scythe came out of nowhere and started killing all the chitin. Woo!
Woo.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, and then Yogg-Sothoth showed up to save you guys.
What a nerd.
For once.
For once, the only the only godlike entity that's actually helping you, and he's not an observer.
Yeah, except for, what's it?
Asmodeus?
Asmodeus. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those two are cool. The rest of them could go.
Everyone else is an asshole. And so Yogg-Sothoth basically said, you can't kill these guys, otherwise my grandfather's going to be pissed at you, and
My dad could be you.
I mean, yeah. Anyways, so even Zankuthan was like, okay, well, instead of me killing you guys, go and retrieve something from the warlock.
Go fetch a sword.
Go fetch a sword. In which you did. He shunted you over to the warlock's domain, which you met the most obnoxious warlock in the universe.
What a guy.
And when you finally got to him, his music player died. and eventually
What?
started playing
Lily
Minecraft
fixed
is
it.
for everyone. Lily fixed it and played Minecraft is for everyone.
Good job, Lily.
And then you all kicked his ass, and Nadine shot his legs off and beat him to death.
Not
Family
exaggerating.
content.
Wyoming learns why Zankuthon wanted that sword so much.
It's a
'Cause
pretty
it
good
hurt.
story. It hurt. Well, and then after that, once Kabadoth returned the sword, you all were teleported back into Phonem, into the underground caverns of Rain, where you found a small ancient throne room with the Iastir and a small soul gem. And then Kabadoth turned into a monster. And then Kabadoth turned into what Demiron explained was a glitch. This sort of sentient cannibalistic energy elemental that exists in this graveyard of timelines. It's confusing. You beat Kabadoth. Lucas almost died. Well, he did die, but almost not.
He was mostly dead.
Mostly dead. And then Kabadoth is all dead.
Poor guy.
And then
And
seven
then-
pillars of darkness came from the
And then 7 pillars of darkness came from the sky, and the dead rose out of rain.
I don't
I don't
remember
think-
that part.
I don't remember that part either. Anyways, so
That's what caused
as
it. We actually ported over to that timeline, messed with things right underneath Rain, and then set off all the.
I get a new language. I forgot about that.
oops.
Oops.
The Huoshan Hunters Guild ruins everything.
Oops.
Anyways, the last session ended with you obtaining the Iastir and Lily holding the white soul gem in her hand, identifying it as the soul of Faust. And that is exactly where we start this session. With Lily realizing whose soul is in that soul gem.
She throws it out.
Trash.
Trash.
Lily, no.
Yes, this is the Last Jedi. I forgot to say. She tosses it over her shoulder.
Oh no! Oh no!
No, Lily's gonna look shocked and not say anything.
Well, Lucas is too busy being almost dead a few minutes ago.
Yeah, Bao's putting band-aids on him.
Healing bandages.
Yeah, those are a thing.
I know.
It's pretty raw. How much you think it'll sell for?
So, this seems to be Faust.
What?
Who now?
Faust.
Yeah, I heard the name highlighter.
It's her soul.
Nadine, do you have knowledge religion?
I have intelligence.
It didn't answer the question.
No, I don't.
roll a general intelligence check.
Roll it in general. What the sort?
23. All right. Faust. That's the fucking god creator of Phonem.
The fucking one.
Yes, this world was created in a very special way.
No. But yes, that is the Faust is the god creator of Phonum.
Oh, that one.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, we've met a lot of gods. Does it seem similar?
How so?
Does it seem heavily divine like a god? Or does it
Yes.
seem weaker?
Actually, you can tell this soul gem has seen heavy use. This soul gem has been used very, very frequently. It actually seems some of the soul's light has lost its luster. Despite that, it's, to put it in perspective, it would be, let's say, about 80% of the soul gem's energy still remains after everything that's happened to it.
You've only used 20% of my true power.
Go away.
Oh man, you used like 10% of my time.
Are you challenging me?
Are you challenging me?
But no, that's but yes, it does have that same kind of divine godlike energy. But you can definitely tell
Okay.
this soul gem has been it has been frequently used.
We need to leave immediately.
Shit. Alright. I still really don't even know how to react to that. So, yeah. Sounds like a
I
plan.
don't really either. That's why.
I'm gonna need some music here really quick. Give me a second.
Oh no! That bad guy in the corner
Cabot
is
on his
filling
deck.
with his music box.
Lily, why did you take that with you?
Take what?
His music player.
Oh, I
Yeah,
like
part
the
back.
music.
Hey, part back. So, looking around, there seems to only just be one path out of this room.
So, how are we getting out of here? I guess we should ask.
I figured Cabadoth would have a way out, so
Yeah, our exit plan was
didn't
never
prepare a
discussed.
teleport.
Is the. Is, is Jane still here? Why don't we actually ask that?
I don't know. Is Jane still here, DM?
Actually, she's nowhere to be seen.
Jane?
No response.
Of course not.
That's just peachy, isn't it?
Peach?
Exactly.
You know what? You know what? This is fine. This is fine. Let's just walk forward like we do.
Into the clutches of our enemies.
Yes, we're not in friendly territory.
Well, things seem to work out for you people anyways, no matter what we do. So let's just... Why not? Why not?
I don't see. I don't have any
Oh.
other plans.
I suppose I don't have any other plans either. Besides waiting here for hours and trying to remember how to teleport.
I don't know if that's a good idea either.
Fine, we'll go with the plan of walking forward.
All right.
All right.
So
Yeah.
you go down the path.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So you go down the path, being the pathfinders that you all are.
Wow.
I know. I want.
I said it.
I want to kill myself
said
for
the
saying
thing.
that. I'm gonna. You know what? Session's canceled. I'm gonna go hang myself.
Well, will you be back?
I might be. We'll see.
We'll see if the rope breaks or not.
I'm going to just path myself to a pill bottle and some alcohol.
Nadine, no.
That was so fucking bad. I'm sorry. I'm actually mad at myself for that.
You're forgiven. We can we can fix it in the edit.
Being the that you all are. There you go. Get Rich Jammer to say it and then just overlay his voice. God. Anyway, so you're going down this path, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so the path leads to a
Like the Pathfinders that we...
God damn it! Alright, there we go! Skip me, Lily said it! Delete me saying it, Lily said it. I'm saved.
Hooray.
Anyways, so you all come to this clearing, massive underground ice cavern clearing. Might be a little loud, so you might want to turn down the bard in advance. So, you all arrive in this cavern and you see rows upon rows of ancient-looking devices that are eerily similar to the heart of Huoshan. Ancient ungulate skeletons, you can see, frozen, still hooked up to these horrible devices. Beside each of the devices are a small table and a book.
I take all the books.
Do you look into them?
Yeah, I skimmed them before I take them.
Alright, they seem to all contain ancient writings on ungulate anatomy, from longmas to sheep to cattle to goats to alpaca, all written in this language that seems it's hard to describe. It is definitely not a language of this world.
Shit, there really are more of them.
And then
Going to drink an extract of heightened awareness. Because, it's getting sketchy.
anyways, as you continue to progress, you find in between two of these machines is a sketch, and you just see a wall containing like dozens of these devices with small little ungulates kind of like etched into the diagram, and just an entire wall of this. You see the same kind of writing all across these all across this sketch. Some of them seem to be question marks. Some of these seem to be questions because they end with a question mark. Seem to be questions to whoever wrote this. But I mean, you could probably take two guesses who wrote this.
Yeah, probably.
The pathway continues, and just rows upon rows of these terrible devices. Finally, you exit this room and go into the next room, which seems to be the small little living room, I want to say. There is some very ancient frozen over furniture. And the only thing of notice in this room is this large machine. And right on top of it is an equally massive screen. A faint green light still glows in the corner, signaling that even after all this time, this machine is still active.
And this machine looks similar to the other ones?
No, this is like a machine with like a giant TV screen.
Ah.
Sure, why not have a comfortable living space right next to all that? This is disgusting.
Lily goes to figure out how to interact with it and what it does.
Alright, well, make me a knowledge engineering check. Alright. So, alright. You begin tinkering with it. A lot of the machinery in this machine, a lot of the stuff you recognize in some of the stuff you've actually seen in Huoshan, in like today's era. So it's actually pretty easy for you to rework it to get all of the juice back up and running. So after you work on it for a couple minutes, you see the screen turn on. And you see a series of files, like video logs. The machine has a small little touchpad where you can maneuver it around and select the files.
She turns to the group. Do we want to find out? Hello?
Hello.
I don't have anything. Lucas just shrugs.
Okay. Then she's gonna dive into it, I guess.
All right. I need to find a. This will be fine. No, I want. That just be good because I can't find a mute theme for this. All right, so. All right. The old half-frozen screen manages to spring to life after a small bit of tinkering. In the video, you can see the very same cave you are in, lit by torches that burn with an ominous red fire. Walking into the scene, the tall, dark-skinned man, his body muscular and fit. He wears an outfit similar to that of an Egyptian pharaoh. This was Nyarlathotep, but unlike every time you've seen him in his horrific, alien-esque armor, here, he looks like a tall human. His bronze eyes glow brighter than the torches behind him. He looks up into the screen, as if he was staring into your soul. The following is a series of logs I will be recording during my time on this planet, both for research purposes and for my own personal entertainment. I do not know how long I was confined in hell. Time has no meaning to myself or that wretched plane. It could have been years, centuries, millennia. The stars themselves may very well be on the verge of death, and I would be none the wiser. I do not have the power to travel through space in my current state. I have no followers, no one to worship me in this world. I intend to change that soon, but for now, I need to get my bearings straight and learn more about the world I am in. He pauses, raising up the Ayaster into view. Regardless, my seeds of rebellion that I planted in the minds of Asmodeus' generals worked without a hitch. Hell is in disarray, and Asmodeus is dead. I don't know if I can draw power from anyone who worships me in hell. Yet another thing to put on this ever-growing to-do list. He puts the Ayaster away, looking back up into the screen. First things first. I'm going to explore this world. Every nation, every village, from sea to sea. In my current state, this may take me several months, maybe even a year. I should make this place my base of operations for the time being. And with that, the first log comes to an end.
I'm assuming no one has anything to say, so... Second log?
Yeah.
Yep. Alright. Video begins. It's been about 2 weeks now. I've only really managed to explore the outer region of this mountains I am underneath. The region seems to be almost entirely covered in snow. The winds are rough and fierce. Seems like some kind of hurricane or other unique weather phenomenon surrounds this region. I'll have to examine this more later. What I do know is that this region seems to be populated by reindeer. Sentient, talking reindeer. I have seen many things in my countless years, but talking animals are certainly a first. I wonder if this is only just this region, or if the entire world is populated by these life forms. I'm going to try and get through this weather. If I cannot, I may need to begin converting these animals to worshipping me. Regardless, one of my tasks will be completed by month's end, and the video comes to an end.
Well, he's gonna keep going.
Alright. Number 3. I have completed my travels across this world, and what I have discovered delights me, yet gives me a set of dread I cannot shake. This world is magically enriched, more so than Galarian, and certainly more than Earth. I've compiled a list of the main populace of this world. We have the aforementioned reindeer, followed by unicorns, alpaca, cattle, sheep, and finally an odd race of dragons who seem to be half equine. They call themselves Longma. They seem to be born from the dragons that fled this place after their queen left these lands. I can pat myself on the back for that. Lastly, there are the predators that I, disguised as the creator god, banished to this place she constructed called the Hold. I'll keep this in mind for a rainy day in the future. What astounds me the most is that each of these races, predators included, all have innate magical and psychic abilities. He puts his hand on the console, taking a deep breath. A rare sight to see. The crawling chaos is visibly unsettled. It is by no random chance I came to this world. It can't be by luck. It's too perfect. This world is the perfect platform to plot my revenge against the kings of Ulagor. I have everything I need, and I know I am not this lucky. I can only guess that either Yog-Sothoth or even Father had a hand to play in my coming to this world. If they know, then the observers surely do. I do not know why the observers haven't entered this world yet. I can only surmise they are busy trying to keep the peace in hell, but they cannot find this world. Regardless, I need to play this carefully. I do not belong in this world, and the slightest slip-up will alert the observers of my presence. And if they enter this world where I still do not have my power, I will not stand a chance. Entry 3 comes to an end.
4.
Alright. Entry 4. When the screen comes to life, the room looks more lived in. There are seats, a table with some blueprints that can't be seen from the angle the camera is at. Faust herself seems to walk in front of the camera. She looks up into the screen, looking a bit disappointed. She takes a deep breath, and then her body begins to morph. After a moment, Nyarlathotep morphs back into his humanoid form. Today has been eye-opening. I finally decided to go out and start converting the reindeer. I thought it'd be easier if I took the form of Faust to deceive them easier. What I learned was intriguing. The moment I entered the reindeer village, Rain, they call it now. The moment I entered, the entire village turned and fled for their very lives, cursing the creator god's very name. After doing a bit of shape-shifting and sweet-talking, I learned that these animals fear the creator god after I used that spell to turn an entire nation into one giant desert. Oops! You'd think they'd forget about that after 100 years or so. In any case, I won't be able to use the creator god's form anytime soon. He pauses, pulling something out. A glowing white soul gem. It is interesting, however. I used a great deal of her soul in that spell, and yet not even a fraction of it has been lost. He pauses for a moment, then opens his mouth wide and drops the soul gem into his mouth. With a single gulp, he swallows the soul gem that contains the soul of Faust. Ah, delicious. If I can't use her form, then I'll at least use her soul for my magic. And if that spell didn't even deplete her soul in the slightest, I think I can use her soul for a very, very long time. Entry 5 entry 4? Yeah, entry 4 comes to an end.
Yeah. Lily's ears twitch a bit. And she turns on 5.
All right. Entry 5. I've returned from low orbit. After a careful examining of the stars, I can safely say I have absolutely no idea where I am. The patterns, planets, constellation, they are completely different than anything I've seen in Galarian or Earth's galaxies. The universe is indeed vast, so I could be all the way on the opposite side of the universe. I wonder if that restaurant is around. All jokes aside, this is beneficial for me. From what I've seen, this world, no. This entire side of the universe came into being at least a few hundred years ago. The stars are young. Too young to have been around for any longer than that. If that's the case, it's a good chance the observers haven't even logged this place into their database. As long as I don't go completely out of control with my ambitions, I shouldn't ever see an observer in this world. Entry 5 comes to an end.
Six.
Alright. It's been a few years since my last entry. Since my previous entry, I had an epiphany. These animals, despite being well versed in magic, are completely in the dark when it comes to technology. They are still very well in the Stone Age when it comes to their homes, tools, weapons, and transportation. This is not good. I need the technology in this world to be as close as possible to modern Earth technology to achieve my goals. Perhaps it's time to teach these reindeer a few things. The process will be slow, but I have all the time in the world. Nyarlathotep steps away. He brings out a mirror and begins shapeshifting his body, morphing it into that of a reindeer. There are two types of reindeer. There are the bulky, muscular kind, and then there are the sleek, small, and infinitely more agile kind. I must admit, I do prefer the latter over the former. The smaller ones tend to be a bit smarter, and the muscular ones are, well, they're all meatheads. Granted, pure muscle is perfect in certain situations, but I will need brains behind these plans. I will need these reindeer to be led by the intellectual rather than just who's the strongest. He finishes, shapeshifting, transforming himself into a sleek, black reindeer, with their floof a dark yet vibrant red. His new body clearly feminine. He had transformed himself into a successful female reindeer. Another thing I've noticed. He speaks in a new womanly voice, powerful and alluring. Females in this world tend to be a bit more, I do not want to say more powerful than the males. More successful, perhaps? There are a lot more females in positions of power than males. I do not know if this is something these animals came to do on their own, or if it's a fundamental law put in place by the Creator God. Regardless, this form should be the one to do the trick. It is a good thing I've had... He forms a look of disgust on his face. Practice. Entry 6 comes to an end.
Nadine starts looking for an eject slot.
There doesn't seem to be one.
I don't know what you're looking for.
I'm sick of history lesson and this
We can skip it.
asshole speaking to himself in front of a screen for... I don't want to be here for an hour straight. How about I just take the information and read it some other time, because I'm not going to sit here and wait until it's over.
Lily's gonna look for any ports or anything.
There doesn't seem to be one. All this information seems to be hard coded directly into the machine.
Then, so Lily knows a lot about computers and how they work, right?
I think you have
Okay, so,
you've got a good idea.
Then Lily's gonna look for a way to open the machine and pull out its hard drive.
All right, roll me a knowledge engineering. All right. You find the hard drive. It is compared to what you know of modern technology in today's phone, very massive and clunky.
Okay. So Lily's gonna carefully pull it out and store it.
Like, how massive are you talking about?
Like, you know how old computers look?
How old are we talking about? Are we talking about like a
90s,
refrigerator
like
or
90s,
okay.
like 90s computers? Like, compare like 90s computers to like, I don't know.
So it's like the bat pewter.
Yeah. It's like about the size of a brick, like a couple bricks layered up into one.
Yeah. So Lily's gonna take the hard drive.
All right. With your knowledge engineering check, you safely managed to extract the hard drive and the information.
Okay.
When you do that, the screen shuts off, goes completely black.
There. Now we can listen to the rest when we get home.
Alright. It didn't seem too crucial, but it was filling in a few blanks. Well, immediately crucial.
Yes. It wasn't a USB.
Alright, well, there is nothing left else in this room. The plans that Nyarlathotep mentioned in the video are nowhere to be seen on the table behind you.
Any exity looking things?
You mean doors?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, there are no doors, but there is another path out. There's simply only just like one way in, one way out. Well, the way you came from and then the way out is what
Only place left goes forwards, then.
Alright.
But yeah, let's keep going.
Alright. So you finally, you continue going. Pocketing the hard drive, you continue down the next path. Make a perception.
Oh no, that spot.
Oh no, dice spot, please.
Hello.
Hello. You missed some
Exposition.
exposition.
The
That
cat
did-
has arrived.
Nadine ended because she's impatient. I'll
Considered.
just-
Problem solved.
I'll just DM you the exposition because I have it all written down, Brock, so you can read it at your own time. At least the ones that were revealed.
Okay.
I think it was 1 through 5, right?
1 through 6.
Okay.
And then probably after, well, whenever we finish reading them, I'll pin them into the HHG pins so that everybody can read them.
Hello, Dicebot.
No, I don't think J-Spot responded.
Oh, my bad. I must have been seeing things.
All right. Anyways, do. Well, I guess Dicebot's dead.
No, it did respond. It just took like 3 minutes.
I don't see it, so.
I don't either.
I don't see it either.
Nope.
I wonder
I don't
I
why.
don't know why that is.
Anyways, so y'all did all right, pretty good. So, so you all, as you're all walking, you see a small little fork in the road, and you see someone coming. You recognize the person, and the person holding this torch is none other than Yuan Shao that you met a while ago, before you ventured into Oleander's mindscape. He looks up and notices you. You. I remember you all.
Yeah, I could have met a lot worse people down here.
What are you doing down here?
Hold on. I'm not sure I trust you're who you say you are.
That seems fair.
How do we know you're not Nyarla coming back to his old lair?
Well, how can I? Well, how to put this into words? I certainly am not Nyarlathotep, but at the same time, I'm not who I say I am. Allow me to explain, please.
Listening.
You see him pull out this kind of device, magical device, and presses it, and from Yuan Zhao, his form changes into that of a reindeer. I'm actually one of Master Yuan Shao's disciples. the real one. Master Yuan Shao, well, he is a very, very high-profile target in the eyes of the Pharaoh. You understand, correct?
Somewhat.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well,
Do you have the thing I gave you?
I gave it to him, yes. I gave it directly to Master Yuan Shao. I can take you to him. You need a way out, don't you?
Why are you here?
I kind of hope you'd have it on you as some kind of proof, but
We overheard the Pharaoh's devil machine. It was running again, and we feared someone was down there. So he sent me to examine it.
It's not that
I
funny.
know, right? They're pretty funny.
So, I suppose if you're who you say you are, then it'll be proven soon enough. Lead the way.
Nadine takes out her rifle and points it at the reindeer. Well, if you are who you say you are, well, I don't know who that is, but I'll assume that they know who you are. Then, if you aren't, maybe I'll slip, and maybe a bullet will go inside your head.
Well, let's hope you don't slip. And hopefully you'll see that I am not deceiving you. Please.
Well,
I'm
there's only
certain
one way to find out, isn't there? Come on, go.
he nods and he begins walking, carrying the torch with him. Lord Yuan Shao has taken the reindeer underneath Rain ever since his cult took our home over. We've been living in secret for hundreds of years. And as Yuan Shao is regularly being hunted by both the cult and the Pharaoh himself. We have trained ourselves in the way of magic to disguise ourselves as Lord Yuan Shao. We give our lives for him, as he gives his life to protect us.
I see. Well, what does he even do anyway?
Barely anything now. Yuan Shao is nearly 1,000 years old.
So he's dying of old age? Why wouldn't Yarla be afraid of him?
He's afraid of what he represents. The people rising against him. A god is nothing without his followers. Even someone like the Pharaoh is not exempt to that rule.
Okay. But his followers, as far as I've seen, haven't been jumping ship.
If someone came to you and said, your god is evil, what would you do?
That's an interesting question right now. I mean, the first time I met my god, she demanded the death of my entire home.
The point I'm trying to make is his followers see him in a way none of us can truly understand. They see him as a savior. They worship him like he's the only god that matters. And he has built such a fanaticism that they will go to any lengths to protect him. Even if they know he doesn't need it. They will throw their lives away just for him.
Yes, but what's your plan to fix that?
We've tried to convince the people otherwise. We've done, actually, a good job here in Rain. Convincing many to turn away from convincing many to turn away from Nyarlathotep. But cut one head off the Hydra, two more take its place.
That's a very roundabout way of saying it. You're failing.
I suppose we are. I
What if-
suppose everyone is.
What if I had a symbol that was bigger than Yuan Sha?
And perhaps you might succeed where we are not. With that, you find yourself standing before this kind of massive ice door. We are here.
So it would seem.
He kind of raises his, please don't shoot me. I'm just going to open the door. He walks over to a hidden panel, and you see him just kind of press down on one of the icicles inside one of the doors, and you hear a faint rumbling as the door slowly begins to slide open.
Hello, Brox. Have you? Oh wait, no. You've always been here. That's Birds, I think.
Birds has also been in here listening.
Been here for a little while.
Anyways,
It is the bot.
so yeah, the bot left.
That's what I saw.
Yeah. So the door opens, revealing this small little village inside the caverns. And you see a lot of you see a lot of reindeer just making their just making their lives about going around. You see a few of them talking, laughing. They seem to be happy despite their conditions. Interesting to note that they're all in uniform, all in this kind of blue-colored, like military uniform. The reindeer looks at you all and goes, "Come with me. I'll bring you to Huoshan."
Well, hasn't been a trap yet.
Yeah, I would expect them all to attack at this point. Lily follows.
All right. The reindeer takes you to the very back of the ice cavern. Once he enters, you see two guards at the door. Press a button on their side, and the door closes shut.